time in the world that a group of players of such ability have assembled together to play in an international singles event. This event should go on in years to come. It has been very popular with the players, and as a lot of you, I believe, are uninitiated yet to croquet, we would like to introduce some of the players that have travelled far to make this event such a success. If I could first introduce some of the lady players that have contributed to this week's success, and Miss Carolyn Spooner, who is a lady player. Carolyn, if you could sort of come forward. Carolyn is has a handicap of -3.5. She won the Australian Ladies Championship in her first national appearance in the game. Karina Dawson has a -4 handicap. If Mrs. Madeline Hadwin could come forward, the third of the ladies in the event. Madeline plays in Hamilton, North Island, New Zealand. She is 4 times the New Zealand Ladies Champion. We have been blessed in this event to have perhaps the strongest ladies field that has ever played in a tournament. I'd like Mr. Andrew Hope to step forward. Mr. Andrew Hope. And Mr. George Latham. Mr. George Latham is from Melbourne in Australia. He plays at a -4.5 handicap. I'd like also to introduce Mr. Spencer Buck. Mr. Spencer Buck is from Mount Gambier, near Adelaide in South Australia. Spencer has been the member of 3 previous Australian international teams. He is the only Australian player to win all major national titles in 1 year. I'd like to come nearer to home and introduce Mr. Jerry Stark from the Phoenix Club in Arizona. Jerry has been playing for only 3.5 years and has already won 2 American singles events. I'd like to welcome Mr. Archie Birchfield. Archie Birchfield is a Kentucky croquet champion. He is 8 times winner of the Kentucky Singles Champion and 3 times the Doubles Championship. Mr. Barry Fitzpatrick. Barry Fitzpatrick plays at the Rancho Santa Fe Club. Mr. Ed Klein. Ed Klein has won the National Club Team Champion in 1984. Moving overseas again, I'd like Mr. Tony Stevens. Tony Stevens is from the South Island of New Zealand. The North Island. He was a member of the 1963 New Zealand international team. Tony has been playing croquet for longer than anyone else in this event. His years total 30. He's the youngest player ever to win a national open in any country. Mr. Colin Pickering, who plays in Adelaide, South Australia, and the current South Australian champion. Mr. Kylie Jones from the New York Club has been a member of 5 national teams, and Kylie has been playing for 9 years. Mr. Ray Bell has been a member of 3 previous United States nationals teams. Ray is a member of the Phoenix Club in Arizona. And Mr. Richard Clark is again a player from Hamilton, North Island, New Zealand. Richard plays with a -3 handicap. Mr. Keith Wiley, travelling here from England to play in this event, has been the winner of 2 President's Cups, perhaps the most prestigious event in croquet to be held until this one. He was the winner in 1967 and 1977. He's also the twice Open champion of Great Britain. He's a previous member of the international teams in 74 and 82. He's also the author of a distinguished text on croquet. Keith will also be refereeing our final. He's a referee qualified in Great Britain. Mr. Dennis Bullock. Dennis Bullock has been playing for 18 years, plays also in Hamilton, North Island, New Zealand. He has won the New Zealand doubles. I'd like also to introduce Mr. Ren Kraft. Ren has been playing for 5 years in Phoenix, Arizona. He's a national club team champion and has represented the United States in 3 international teams. Thank you. As we're ready to get underway, I'd like to introduce the finalists for this event. The finalists are Mr. Steve Mulliner, who plays on a -2 English handicap. To reach the final, Stephen has defeated Mr. Andrew Hope 26-14, Karina Dawson 26-0, Jim Bass 26-15, Richard Clark 25-13, Dee Bidenkirk 26-4, Kylie Jones 26-0, Carolyn Spooner 26-10. He's been playing for 10 years, has won the President's Cup on 2 occasions. He's the British men's champion on 2 occasions, has been the member of 2 international teams, and is the current South of England champion. Stephen, all the best. Also in the finals this evening, and a person you have just seen play, is Mr. Neil Spooner, the current Australian captain. He has 3 times represented Australia in national teams. He is a -5 handicap, the winner of 10 national titles. He has defeated many on the way to this final. Mr. Neil Spooner. The balls, you will notice, are played in rotation. At the beginning of the game, the balls are played on one at a time. You will notice in this game, when a ball travels over the sideline, the ball is measured in 1 yard from the sideline. Occasionally a period of playing cat and mouse. The players are waiting until all the 4 balls are on the court, hopes to gain control of the game in the 3rd or the 5th turn. You'll notice Stephen now is playing the 3rd turn of the game. Just missing on the right. In this particular shot, often the spin of the ball and the way it is struck may pull a ball, or the ball may spin.
Yeah, not right now. As soon as it's over, I will.
The black ball failing to hit the peg. Stephen now takes his blue ball from the game, having scored its 13 points. So narrowly missing, now leaving Stephen with a shot where he may be able to hit the peg and close the game. And there we have 26 points, Mr. Steve Mulliner.
We hope that in the years ahead we'll see many more of you out here. The coming of international events to the West and to Santa Rosa is deserving to the tremendous effort that Brice Jones has made to make this facility available to us, and who has all the plans in the world to make it a go show for many years ahead. And so a hand, please, for Brice.